Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So now that it has been a couple of days since Heartland Season 14 Episode 1 premiered on CBC and CBC Gem here in Canada, I thought it was finally time to sit down and talk to you guys about my response, my reaction, my thoughts on Ty's death and also Graham Wardle's departure from the show. But before I do that, I need to remind you guys to please leave a like on this video if you enjoy and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to help me reach the goal of 20,000 subscribers. And in return, I promise to keep you guys as up to date as possible on everything Heartland Season 14 related. So if you want daily Heartland videos and Season 14 updates, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate that. But now, with that being said, let's jump right into today's video. So, disclaimer before I start, however, I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Heartland. I don't work for CBC, I don't know cast or crew, I know nothing. I repeat, I know nothing that is going to happen in Heartland Season 14. Everything that I say in this video is just my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Nothing that I say in this video is confirmed information. It is just my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. And especially with this video, it is just my own thoughts and opinions. You guys are entitled to your own, just like I'm entitled to my own. Obviously, everyone is going to have different opinions, different feelings on this situation, and different thoughts. These are just mine that I'm putting into a video form for you guys to watch and maybe disagree with or maybe agree with. I don't know until I post this video and I start getting comments. So leave your comments and thoughts about the situation down in the comment section down below. Just a note though, any negative comments towards Graham or directed at Graham or any of the Heartland cast or crew will be deleted. That is not tolerated. This video is not a place for people to come talk bad about Graham for leaving the show. It was his own decision and his opinion. We need to respect that. So if I see a comment negatively directed towards Graham or any of the Heartland cast or crew for that matter, the comment will be deleted. Just I thought I'd put that out there because I've been seeing so many negative comments towards Graham about his decision, and that's not okay. So with that out of the way, let's finally jump into today's video and talk about Ty's death and my thoughts and my reactions to Graham departing from the show and deciding to leave the show. So if you guys have been a fan of my channel for a long time and you've been watching my videos for the past year, I started making videos about Ty's character leaving the show when all the rumors and speculation started surrounding Graham and his possible, at that time, departure from Heartland and just him not returning for Season 14. At that time, we had no idea what was going to happen to the character of Ty, but all these rumors started coming out that Graham was not going to be returning for Heartland Season 14. And so I had been making theory videos surrounding that for months prior to the start of Heartland Season 14. So I was not shocked when Season 14 premiered and Ty died. I was not at all. I was expecting it. I knew something was going to happen, and I knew Graham was not going to be involved with the show as much anymore, just because of all the speculation and rumors, but not only that as well, but also just Graham's lack of appearances on the set of Heartland Season 14. While they were in the filming process, he was only there like once, maybe twice, and I was like, for a main character, he's not there as much as Amber, Michelle, Alicia, or even Jordan, or even Carrie James for that matter. I was like, okay, something's going on. Ty's either going to be away or absent this season, or he's gonna die. And so when Heartland Season 14 Episode 1 premiered on CBC, I watched Heartland with my younger sister who's 10 years old, and I immediately knew something was different and something was going to happen, and I can tell you the exact moment I knew that something was going to happen. As soon as it started, because the whole episode is different. The musical score, the intro, the first scene is when Ty dies, and I was like, even the way it started, I don't know how to explain it, but it was different, okay? Something about the start of this episode was not upbeat and exciting. And yay, we're back at Heartland like the rest of the episodes have been. It started off with the opening scene of the episode was actually the ending scene of season 13. And I really, really liked that. I was like, that is an interesting storytelling point or element. I really like how they did that, because now it made sense to me, at least. Ty's death made sense. It started off at the exact place that Heartland season 13 ended. So there was no other big catastrophe or horrible event that caused Ty's death. It was simply the start of season 14 was probably a couple of days, maybe a week after the events of Ty and Amy being shot in Heartland season 13, and Ty died because of complications from his gunshot wound. That made sense. I was like, yeah, okay, that can actually happen. There can be complications. And I was like, I'm happy with that. Now, when it comes to Graham's departure from the show, I'm happy with the way they handled his character's exit. I know a lot of people aren't, but I personally am. I liked how they tied it into what happened previously, and it just, as I said, it made sense, to me at least. And I'm glad they didn't come up with this huge brand new storyline for season 14 just to rely, or just to tell and be a way to kill off Ty. I'm glad that it was something that was already established in season 13, and it's a realistic thing that can actually happen, and that's why his character died. Now, the way it was shown on screen, I liked how when everything slowed down in the episode, everything was slow motion, and then you see Ty kind of just fall. And in that moment, I remember looking over at my sister who was watching it with me, and I was like, he's dead. And I called it immediately. I was like, he's gone, he's dead. And she was like, no, he's not, he's gonna be fine. Well, I was right. He was dead. But I really liked that. I liked how everything slowed down. I liked how it got really dramatic, and I liked how they portrayed it on screen, because remember, with TV shows, it's all about showing the audience. You have to show them what's happening. They have to be able to see it. So I liked how they showed us his death, and I liked how it was portrayed on screen. And I think that is very important to TV shows when you're killing off a main character. Audiences have to see it happen, or else it will just, you don't just kill off a main character and not tell the audience or show the audience what happened. First of all, leading up to his death and how he died, but also the events after. And then that's where season 14 kind of picks up. And I'm very excited to see this next chapter of the Heartland story, and specifically Amy's character and Amber Marshall's performance in the first episode. I know I've said this like a million times, but I don't care. I will continue to say it because it's true. Her performance in this episode was the best by far, in my opinion. I loved it. She absolutely nailed it. The character of Amy, I really felt her emotional pain in this episode, and that is all thanks to Amber Marshall's performance. I think she was phenomenal, and I know a lot of people agree when I say that. Now, when it comes to Graham's departure on this show, I thought I was ready for it. I was like, I've seen this coming. I know it's coming. I know it's gonna happen. I know something's gonna happen to Ty. But when we watched the scene where he passes away, and then the scene where they tell Amy, or she remembers the doctors telling her what happened, I remember literally looking over to my sister, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I was like, no, because I realized in that moment, oh no, there's gonna be no more Ty Borden in Heartland anymore. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, Hannah, I thought you weren't even fans of Amy. I thought you weren't even a fan of Amy and Ty at all. That's not true. Just because I didn't like to focus on their relationship in the show does not mean I did not like Ty Borden as a character. I did. But I 100% respect and support Graham's decision. He's been on this show now for over 14 years, and or 14 years, sorry. And if he wants to go on and do other things, that is completely understandable. And he's given us 14 years of portraying Ty on Heartland, 14 years of telling Ty's story. If he wants to go on and do other projects, I think we all need to support that and understand his decision. I know it's upsetting for a lot of Heartland fans, myself included, but I am very excited to see this next chapter of Heartland be told, and the characters that are still on the show, the cast, I know, are very excited for this season. They said it was a very hard season to shoot, but they all seem very positive for the future of Heartland. That brings me now to the interviews that we've been getting from Graham Wardle himself and Amber Marshall and the executive producers of Heartland. Now, some of you have been saying that you think that these interviews are damage control. I strongly disagree with that. These interviews to me are necessary because Graham did portray such a main character, and because the executive producers and cast, and even Graham himself, is aware or are aware that Ty's death is going to affect the audience. It's going to affect the show. It's going to affect everything. These interviews are necessary, and I'm glad that we got to see an interview with Graham himself, because he got to explain to us his next chapter, why he's deciding to leave. He got to talk about his time on Heartland, and he got to just explain to us as a Heartland audience where he is coming from with his departure from the show, and I was very happy with that. I gotta be honest, I was a little bit scared to watch the interview at first because I was very emotional at the end of episode 1. I was like, oh my gosh, like I knew his death was coming, but I was not ready to watch it. Like, oh my gosh. But I watched it, and I was very happy I did at the end, and I was like, you know what? Everything's gonna be fine. Everything doesn't seem fine right now, and maybe it won't seem fine until the end of season 14, but you know what? Everything's gonna be fine. And then we have an interview with Amber Marshall, which I absolutely love that interview, and I think that it shows, specifically this interview with Amber, shows the next chapter of Heartland. She's basically telling us what is going to happen with the show and with Amy as a character, and what's going to happen with the show moving forward. And I found it interesting because she mentioned in the interview how Heartland has always tried to be realistic, and people do lose loved ones way before their time, and too soon, as people say, and that is just something that happens. So Heartland is just telling a story of something that can actually happen in real life, and they're being realistic. That does happen. Husbands do die, wives do die, spouses do die. That's just life. People die. And Graham also mentioned that in his interview as well. He was like, people die. We're all going to die. This is just a part of life that is being told on screen through the death of Ty Borden. And when I was watching the interviews, and after I watched Graham's and Amber's and the executive producers of Heartland's interview, I was like, okay, I'm feeling very confident for the future of Heartland, because it's very obvious, at least to me, that they have a future of the show already in mind, and they have a path that they want Amy to go down, and to for her character to explore. I don't know, is that the right word? I don't know. They have a path for Amy's character to go down, and they have the next chapter of her story somewhat in mind and planned out. And I'm very excited to see this next part of Heartland, and I'm very upset that Graham has unfortunately decided to leave. That does mean no more Ty, But I mean, it's his decision. I wish he had decided to stay, but that's all we can do. And I'm very, very, very pleased with the way the writers have presented the audience his death, and also how the cast and crew are very much aware of how his death is going to affect the audience and the show. And that's why I'm very happy that they did release these interviews, not as damage control, but just to be like, hey guys, we know this is going to be hard, we know this is emotional, it's emotional for us as showrunners and as co-stars, but everything's going to be fine. We have a future of Heartland planned out. And that's at least what I got out of watching these interviews with the cast and with the showrunners, is that, hey, we know this is very shocking to open a season with the death of a main character, but don't worry, have faith in us. We have a future of Heartland planned out, and I think that you guys are going to love it just as much as we do. That's at least what I got, as I said, when watching these interviews. I feel very confident in the story that they are about to tell us with Heartland and through Heartland as we go into season 14 and beyond, without the character of Ty Borden being present, and also just with Amy's character as well, as she deals with Ty's death and just the journey of her character into season 14 and beyond. I'm very excited to see what that involves, and it seems to me that Amber is also very confident in Amy's story going forward with the loss of her husband, and also just her character going forward into season 14, dealing with that and just growing as a character and telling the next chapter of Amy's story. It seems to me that Amber's very confident in the future of Heartland, and guys, if the main cast are confident in the future, why shouldn't the fans be confident in the future as well? I mean, they obviously have a plan, and they're obviously excited about it and excited to share with us the rest of the story in season 14 and hopefully more seasons to come. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.